Pocket full of rocks for 16 years. It was an amazing adventure.
Well, tell me what you're up to these days.
We landed the plane on Pocket full of rocks about 5 years ago. Amazing year. We're one of the rare artists that gets to land on the top note kind of thing. No drama, no crazy, just brothers that said, good job. We've had a good run. And the last 5 years, I've produced and written full-time, but more than that, I'm a worship pastor at a church, and I have been for 20 years. And so in the last 5 years especially, I've plugged back into a local church, and then I produce and write to put the kids through college. That's kind of the way this works.
Well, and obviously with songs well received, a diversity of styles with Trust in You that you co-wrote for Lauren Daigle, the Southern Gospel Recorded Song of the Year winner, I Am Blessed, recorded by Karen Peck and New River. You even produced a Spanish language album that was Christine DeClario's award-winning album.
Yes.
So talk about what you bring to a project, especially when you're dealing with a variety of different styles and even languages.
Wow, that's a great question. And I would hope the thing that I bring to any scenario I find myself in is hopefully the ability to continue to draw out what's authentically stirring around in the heart of an artist or a worship leader. It doesn't do me any good to get them to sing what I'm thinking is great. It does me a lot of good to help mine out what they are feeling, what God's, kind of leading them through or pulling them into. And so it almost feels pastoral. I feel like a lot of what I do, and even in songwriting and production, is pastoral. I come alongside someone and we walk from the very beginning of creating these songs to the very end of a product that we hope does amazing things in the hearts of people. And so, yeah, I hope that would always be maybe said about me. If there was, something said, it was, hey, he was able to pull out what was authentically me and beating in my heart.
So do you sit down with a clipboard and you ask questions? So what are you feeling? What are you sensing? What do you think God's leading you? How do you really kind of pull that out of an artist?
I make an amazing pot of coffee.
that works.
And we pour a lot of coffee and we sit around this table in my office and we just talk. Because if we can't build relationship in that confines, we're not going to get very far with wrestling down very heartfelt, intimate, levels of God's love for us and grace for us and His kingdom, and those things don't come on surface relationships. You have to get to know somebody. So we're coffee snobs. And we put a French press out on the table and said, "Tell me your story," and that's how most of this gets started.
Well, talk about how the local church ministry is part of what God's called you to do.
I was raised a Baptist preacher's kid in Texas. And I'm 44, and since I was 19 or 20 years old, I've been in some staff position at a church. So it's always been the core of who I am. It's one of those things where somebody asked me just 3 weeks ago, hey, how's all this other stuff? How's all the stuff you're doing outside of the church? How's that affecting your church life? And I went, and it's really the first time it struck me, I went, oh, that's backwards. What I do at the church is affecting everything else. It's because of me just trying to serve 600 people in Franklin, Tennessee that God opens up it's just overflow. It's just, I'm going to serve 600. I'm going to write for 600. I'm going to do my best to love and walk with 600. And if God gives me songs out past that, that's awesome. And if He doesn't, okay, I know I'm core called to be a pastor. I'm just a pastor who happens to wield a sword of a song.